The NBA Game 2 and 3 bomb edition of the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog just launched their new ladders game where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Plus, when you use promo code BOMBS, you get up to $100 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for better. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a $25 matching deposit.
Once again, we apologize for CJ's lane.
Yeah, we sure do. Here we go. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, the Bet Detective, the Laddie Daddy, Scumbagger Vance, the man in the box. CJ Sullivan, recording live here from Eagle Rock, California, on Wednesday, May 7th, 1 p.m. You're listening live on X. Hop on over to YouTube, join the chat, or you're listening later, like the majority of my listeners, which is fine with me, because you are you're in the Bottom Line Bombs, picks with bits for tobacco use only, other things like that. I don't know why I'm fast forwarding through my thoughts and all that. But you know, that's how we're doing the show. We do have a guest today in the box, the rare guest in the box. So I pick and choose. I don't act like that's like a pretentious thing. I probably mainly because I don't book guests. And I have to do it because I'm in the box by myself. But I'm excited for this one. Katie on Hoops himself, Kelly Dwyer, who writes an amazing column, Katie on Hoops. I was going to run some credits. I went through his credits. I don't know. I mean, I know him for a while from back in the Chicago comedy scene. He's amazing, but he used to write for Yahoo. Now he's on his own. Adrian Wojciechowski called him one of the most talented people he's ever worked with. He just subscribed. So if he subscribes, you should be able to subscribe. We'll talk about all the disastrous games that happened last night, a couple of the series. I'll get into his column. He's just got great takes. He has the best takes. And I always quote his takes. And, that's not enough. You can't just say, you got to do it. You got to bring him on. You got to give him the full credit they deserve, including the meltdown last night. The Cleveland Cavaliers, hilarious. Up 7, 48 seconds ago, which seems to be happening all the time now. They love showing they were 97% to win or 98% to win. I hate when they show those percentages, which I don't believe because I had the Cavs money line. So that's why I don't believe their formula, because they don't equate if I have money on it. If I have money on it, then you're at least 50% to lose that game. At least up 7 with 40 seconds to go. But yeah, it's good God. Oh, we're just talking about the underdogs, the 20-point comebacks, which mean nothing anymore. Who knows? We got 2 games tonight. Of course, the only 20-point deficit that didn't come back was Minnesota last night. Why? Because Curry was out. Because that would make too much sense. With Steph Curry being out, it would make too much sense for Minnesota to make a comeback because the storyline is already there for it. So, you know what? This time we're just going to have Golden State finish the job and have Buddy Hield go off again. What the hell is going on with Buddy Hield? Good for him. Good for Buddy. Good for Buddy, old Oklahoma Sooner. Anyway, like I said, we do have a couple bombs, couple games tonight. I'll do a quick preview, a couple bomb edition, then I'll bring in Katie on Hoops. But if you want to get all of our free picks and podcasts in our convenient app, download the SGPN app in your app store today. Like I said, 2 games tonight. Celtics, Knicks again. I dread the series. I almost don't know who I want. I mean, I wanted the Celtics to win by 50 every game, but then I also want them to lose. Then I just don't want to see any more videos of people fighting outside the Garden, like these 2 most obnoxious fan bases. There's just no winning in this situation. Boston hilariously missed 46 3-point attempts. And what makes it funny is they're going to do the same thing tonight. I'm not saying miss them, but they're going to bomb just as many. They don't care. What's stopping them? Yeah, yes. Afterwards, like, yep, we missed him. What are you gonna do? I don't know. A plan B, maybe. Did you think of that? Interesting. Plan B, you say. And does that entail not shooting 3-pointers? Yeah, it does. Well, no, we haven't thought of that then. Then no. Then the answer to your question is no. No, our answer is to make 3-pointers. Okay. Just so funny. That's why I will take the Celtics tonight. The line is 10.5. I like the first half line 6. They were bombing them, celebrating. They're up by 20, 6 points. So I'll take the Celtics minus 6.5. I think Tatum does have a bounce back game. Tatum usually does well versus the Knicks. Obviously he had everyone had a lower scoring output, but I'll take Tatum over 20.5 on that. And the other one's Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns, he got in foul trouble first game. But how does he not get over 10.5 rebounds tonight? Just put out a law of averages. Let's say the Celtics crank it up to about, 153 point attempts tonight. Long, easy rebounds. Porzingis ill. I think just for being out there, just put the ball, hit him in his stomach. Cat will have over 10.5 rebounds. So I'll take Cat on that one. But like I said, this series is torturous to me. I should be off X anyway, but you should definitely be off X during this series. Then you have oh my God, Ben Stiller tweeting an oil painting of Mikal Bridges stealing the ball. I mean, they need a relevant. I mean, if they will be unbearable if they get to them. They never got past these rounds. Their biggest playoff nemesis was Trae Young, and they're like, "Oh, remember Trae Young? What? He was your villain? I forgot." I do think the Celtics bounce back. Usually, when a team that's favored by 9, like a bunch of loses outright, and then they're favored by 9 or 10 again, they have a pretty good history of bouncing back, winning and covering. Cleveland Cavaliers notwithstanding, because, well, we'll get to that debacle in a bit. Second game is one that's a little more near and dear to me: the Oklahoma City Thunder and Denver Nuggets. As you know, C-generates, that is my $20 to 20 million mission.
Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
I need another better sound clip with the words $20 in it than having to play Macklemore all the time. But I do like how every time I play it, Macklemore. Why did I say it like that? Macklemore's peoples? The Macklemores. This week on the Macklemores, they come after me on YouTube for sampling their thing. And, they give me cease and desist. And I kind of want to get in a lawsuit with Macklemore. Now he does designer golf clothes. So I'm going to keep playing it, I think, for a little bit. But anyway, last year was the road to 10 million. That derailed. That Thelma and Louised a bit off the cliff. This year, we're starting with $20. We ran it up to 500 on a 25-1 pleaser, week 18 NFL. Then we put it on the Eagles to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That got us to 5K. And then mid-season, I just said, you know what? I don't want to deal with any of these other inconsistent teams in the West. And I put it on the Thunder to win the West. And I was feeling pretty good. Although I wouldn't mind if they reseeded a bit. I don't like having the Nuggets here in the second round. And I still felt good. I still feel kind of good. I'm going to have KD talk me off a cliff with this one. But I did not like the way they operated out there, because that is the, criticism of them, that like, oh, well, they've never been in tight games, so they beat everyone by 40. All right, well, that's a good thing, though, isn't it? Well, I guess it wasn't. I mean, that timeout system. Not timeout. The fouling. I get the fouling up 3. But shouldn't that be more towards, the one possession, 6 seconds ago? They were doing it 15 seconds ago. Fouls them immediately. Okay, now it's a free throw contest. Now you do it. Now you advance the ball to half court. Barely get that ball in. Then they do it again in the backcourt. Famously, when Jokic was on the sideline. With 10 seconds ago. Then they barely get that ball in. And then Holmgren misses 2 free throws, and everyone's blaming Holmgren for missing 2 free throws and that dunk, by the way. No one's talking about Holmgren missing that dunk, but he misses the 2 free throws. He looked a little nervous out there. I mean, even if he makes those 2 free throws, they're going to foul him win with 9 seconds to go. They're going to do this like 5 more times. That's why it's absurd. It's just a little too dangerous. Don't give me the math. Don't you give me the math. That's got to be from a line, right? Got to be from a line. I am just blabbering, to be honest with you. Anyway, I got to play. I'm going to ride it again. I'm going back to it. Oklahoma City Thunder minus. I mean, this is what they've been doing all year. Nuggets, good for them for getting a great effort there. Jokic was incredible, obviously. The whole team was. Off that game 7, 2 days rest. I think this might catches up to them a little bit. These young Thunder. I'll take this. I'm going to take the wheel here. Thunder -6 first half. Thunder -10.5 for the full game. I think they do what they have been doing all year and put them away. Bomb those. No props in that, although I don't see how Jokic is stopped underneath. Chet Holmgren is obviously not stopping Hartenstein. Maybe be able to, but Holmgren, phew, he looked nervous out there. I like Holmgren. I like them playing both centers together, to be honest with you. I know they experimented with that halfway through the year, but they might have to do some tinkering. Anyway, all right. Let me. Why am I blabbing around? I gave you 2 bombs. That's enough. Degenerates. This is they're picks with bits for tobacco use only, of course, as you know that. And I got a great guest coming on, so why should I delay it? Well, first off, to delay it with some ad reads, because we have to, pay the minuscule bills here. First of all, let me tell you about the oh God. I didn't even get the graphic to fill the whole screen. This is how bad I am in the box. This is supposed to fill the whole screen. Now you're going to let me read it. Let me fix my camera. There you go. At least I blocked myself. Oh man. Anyway, Circa Resort and Casino Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. The winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for their entire 12-person league. 6 double king rooms. Holder drafted a cabana at Stadium Swim, a $5,000 food and beverage credit. Limo transportation to and from the airport. Welcome party at Legacy Club for the league. Reservation at the world's largest sports book, a $500 beverage credit for the league. 2-hour open bar package for the league at Overhang Bar. Contest duration May 5th through June 30th. Enter, go to sportsgamingpodcast.com/circa. That's sportsgamingpodcast.com/CIRCA. That's pretty fun if you have a 12-person fantasy league. Win the draft there at Circa. No better place. If you have 14 teams, well, 2 of you are zooming in. Sorry. All right. 12 people. That's how it should be. Two people can never make it anyway. So who cares if you have 14 teams? You're only getting 12. All right. Next is Edge. Next is Edge Boost. Like I'm reading. It's curriculum. See, that's how you do the full page ad read. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cash back rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match that deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog. Underdog. Do I have a caption thing for Underdog? I should. No, I guess I don't. Should I just take that away? Should I just take Edge Boost away and you see me? What better sponsor would Underdog like than me, the man in the box, as I read verbatim? Now it's time for the Underdog book. You know Underdog. It's fantasy sports, but it's not gambling. But you can win real cash. That's what the lawyers say. They just launched a new game, Ladders. I wonder where they got that. Maybe from the Laddie Daddy himself. I'm not saying I invented ladders, but I was prominent in pushing the ladder content out there. I'll just say that. I just want a little credit. Went to 500 times watching your favorite players climb the ladder. Here's a pick-a-mentary that I like. The pick-a-mentary, I already gave it to you. Karl Anthony Towns, over 10.5 rebounds. Tatum, over 20.5 points. Sign up with promo code BOMBS. Claim your special pick, a first-time deposit. Offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code BOMBS. And we're back here on the bottom line. Bombs in. Look at you. I'm already in box mode. That's because I'm going to be bringing in my guest, who I just see in the lobby right now. I already hyped him up a bit. Mr. KD on Hoops, Kelly Dwyer. Know him from Chicago. He runs one of the best, I'd say best, maybe the originator of basketball blogosphere. Not blogosphere, but I'll let him explain it. I'm all over the place. Hold on. Let me figure this out. And boom! Yeah.
Hey,
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. I love to see you're already strapped to the guitar. Oh my god, that's so great because I made a I want to show you something real quick. I made this to promote your newsletter, and I had the guitar with the basketball. I like calling you
Wonderful.
I like calling you the Steely Dan of the NBA, if that's a compliment or not.
Oh, that's that. I'll take that. I'll definitely take it. Better than England Dan and John Ford Coley. Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm all full of hot licks and rhetoric. I appreciate that.
I love it. Do you feel more comfortable with the guitar and you're around strapped
Yeah,
in?
I
You
don't know. Don't know what to do with my hands if I don't have it.
Right.
It's completely lost. How do I
like
drink?
that.
Where does it go? I don't know what to do. So yeah, if you don't mind and it doesn't mess with the levels, I'm just going to keep this stock Stratocaster strapped to me.
Yeah. So you're calling in from Indiana, is that right?
Lafayette, Indiana, right in the middle of Chicago and Indianapolis. And
yes.
It's a beautiful. It's 70 something and sunny, and it's a nice little town. We dig it.
Fantastic. Now I imagine you will be going to the Pacer game 3 coming up. I know you like to travel around just those little Midwest those teams.
Yeah, it's everyone should get out here. The Pacer Arena tickets are like $4.50 a piece. They're giving free hot dogs and sauerkraut away outside. It's real Midwestern. No, I love the Cleveland Arena. The Detroit's Arena is awesome. Big Gordie Howe statue. Bulls Arena doesn't let me in anymore because I wrote so many nasty things about them. But the Bucks Arena, yes, all the time.
That's hilarious. When was that back in your Yahoo days? You do great Bulls content. I mean, I love all of your old content, but you do some great, amazing Bulls content, and that's a shame. They're mad at you.
Oh yeah, but they're mad at everyone, and they don't really know how they're gonna suss it out. But I was just commiserating with someone about the old Gennaro Pargo game in 2005, and I was on the floor for that game in the media area back when they had media on the floor that wasn't paid for by the team. And sorry, I had to cover up the hologram Oakland A's upper deck baseball card that was reflecting on my forehead.
I was going to guess that's what that was. Yeah.
Anyway, the Bulls hate me, but they hate everyone. They're figuring it out. And I'm going to give them some time to work through what they're working through.
Now, what happened with your Pacers? I mean, obviously they went up 2-0, but what happened with that Cavs meltdown? And what's going on with these 20-point meltdowns? And just the thing, why can't people inbound the ball?
It's so weird. It must be horrible for you guys. I'm off internet. I'm off Twitter. I'm off all that stuff. I'm watching them like hours later. So I'm just dancing around in my house trying to keep quiet, not to wake up the wife and whoever else the wife brought in children to llamas that got to sleep. It's I've never seen anything like it, even if it were happening at home, even if it weren't the weirdness of every road team winning. Like, what is that? Where did that come from? There's caveats, there's reasons for all of them, but a lot of those reasons are like, why are they throwing it to the other team? And why did you let the guy dunk it off a free throw? And when did Isaiah Hartenstein forget how to rebound? It's been a weird week, and I love every bit of it.
Yeah, it's been great, and the playoffs have been great. I know this is your part of your best season. I love when your playoff breakdowns and going through it all. And the travel, I think, is exciting. You always have great takes, and one of their which is bad for business, by the way, having good sensible takes. I just wanted to remind you.
I'm sorry.
But the travel schedule, obviously, it's stretched out, and like you're big on that. And I know one of your theories is to have NBA have more of a baseball travel schedule, which I think is genius. And like this kind of does it where people have 3 days off and they can rest a bit. Why don't they do that?
I don't know. They get to keep their 82 games. Everyone gets paid.
Right.
And for me, 3-game series, you're angry at these dudes. At the end of a 3-game series, there's going to be fights. There's going to be intrigue. There's going to be reason to watch the NBA on a Sunday night. After these teams have, I'll tune into Charlotte and the Magic 3 times put it all in baseball. Put some sort of, I don't know anything about soccer or anything like that, or barely even hockey, but like put some sort of point system in there if you want to get goofy. Kids love numbers these days. Let them run wild with it. But keep a team in the same place for 3 times and let them duke it out. And like, you may not get to see Giannis that one time if he's injured, but like that's also the case for every superstar. Like, there's no guarantees in the NBA anyway, whether these games are spaced out Steph is going to visit in March or Steph is going to visit in November. It doesn't matter. You still have no idea if you're going to see Steph for myriad reasons. So, put them all in one place and roll the dice. And also, this lets the NBA get to be the big liberal, get out ahead of everything and go, listen, we're cutting off all the air miles. We're getting these jet fuel things out of the air. Look at, get a nice tidy press release that shows all the carbon whatevers we're saving. Real 2012 stuff. Just really dig into that. But we saw in the bubble, basketball's better when they get to like rest and not have to be in a plane all the time.
Right.
It's more fun when you don't have to pay attention to whether or not San Antonio's having to go from Minneapolis to San Antonio on a Friday to Sunday afternoon. It's silliness. It's an old 40s schedule that they had to sneak in between the same 6 hockey teams and ice capades. And let's figure. These guys are the capitalist geniuses. Why can't we figure out a baseball system? It's redunculous slam dunkulous that it's taken this long to get out of 82 games. People get bored with it. March and April are weird and like impermanent. It's just it's attracting bees. Is what it's doing.
Slam dunkulous, one of my favorite cereals growing up, by the way. I mentioned it earlier. Let me talk about the Celtics Knicks series with you now, because you also have another great theory or a rule change you wanted to adapt when it comes to 3-point shooting here in the NBA. Because people think it's a problem. Obviously, they do the efficiencies and they do the analytics, and the Celtics, they miss 46 threes. Oh well, they don't care. Like I said, they're going to shoot just as many tonight. They don't care. Yeah. They just hope to make some more. But you had a great idea to cap it. Is that what your plan was?
Yeah. 33 a game.
33 a game.
I'm honestly at this point, it's like getting out ahead of they're going to make a 5 or 4 point shot or another bad idea like getting rid of the corner 3. No, don't do that. I think it's fine. This has been the best NBA season in ages. And every year has gotten consistently better since 2001 when NBA was terrible and games were all led by Scott Skiles and Larry Brown and no one could get over 82 points. I love this league. I'm so much in favor of everyone chucking threes because it's better to get 3 points on a shot you shoot 38% of. It makes sense. But if you cut them off at 33, all of a sudden you're getting the intrigue behind, do we need Luke Mbea Amute? Do we need Pat Connaughton? Do we need TJ McConnell? These iffy shooters. Yeah. Do we need these people wasting our threes in the second quarter? Secondly, you run out of threes. Oh, well, suddenly we have Michael Jordan, DeMar DeRozan twirling 2-point games in the fourth quarter, which is way more entertaining. I like it because, moving it out, that's not going to do anything. It still counts for an extra point. It's going to decrease the percentages. Going to make ugly basketball. Get a little, I just picked 33 because Larry Bird. Well, why not?
No, it made sense. 8 a quarter, one extra one, right? And let's bring back players yelling at each other for taking threes. You're like, whoa, why'd you waste that 3?
Again, more fights.
Right. It's kind of like the adult softball where they can only hit 20 home runs and they get mad if you hit one with nobody on base or something. Like, no, why'd you waste one of those home runs? 100%. Why'd you waste a 3-pointer? How do you think the rest of that series? Yes. How do you think the rest of that series is going to play out? And is it as hateable as I think it is between those two fan bases, the Celtics and the Knicks?
Well, yeah, goodness. I mean, listen, I got to go for Boston in this because the Knicks are the Knicks, and you just can't get over rooting for the Knicks. But, rooting for Boston when you're not from Boston is a really bad look. So it's a rough series for a lot of us. But it's what you just said. Are they going to hit 23 of their 46 threes, or are they going to hit 8 of them, or whatever these are? It comes down to that, and God bless them. Are they going to hit their jumpers or not since the 40s? That's how basketball is. It just counts for different now. We can go tisk whenever they, it's 46 threes in an NBA game. I was a frog in the pot when that was happening. I was watching it and having a good time. I mean, I thought it was notable that they were missing all those threes, but for me, it was just like, okay, these are the Celtics. I'm used to it. They're a better version of what the Bulls tried earlier this year. So I'm okay with it. I'm not against threes. It's just it's going to get worse before it's going to get worse.
And it's just so funny when they say, you set an NBA record for the most mysteries ever. Like, oh, did we? Yeah, we're probably going to set another one tomorrow. Minnesota, you had to set for most for 2 games. That's funny. They start dying laughing. Like, yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Don't give me a challenge. I'll start Yeah, I don't have any problem with them doing it because I'm the same guy that railed against the Ron Mercer NBA for years of just stop taking pull-up twos. It's not working. It's not working. So I'm getting what I deserve with this.
We are responsible for it. I like that call.
100%.
The other one is Oklahoma City, Denver. I want to pull up your slide again just because I wanted to show people. Now, it's Katie on hoops is what you're right. Fantastic profile picture of old Jack. And that like
at a Clipper game.
That's Jack at a Clipper game?
And it's slumming out in Inglewood, yeah.
Oh, wow. We were just going to say that looked like prime Forum Club days, like things were going on back there.
The sports arena, wherever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's him visiting the Clipper arena and delighting. And it's, I can't tell what the protein is, but, the Coke has got to be there. It's the 80s.
One thing I love about your newsletter, I mean, obviously, you're an NBA historian in my mind. You mix the old with the new, with comedy, music, everything. But your slides, your screenshots. Do you have a library? That is this on your? I mean, does this come from just the KD database, or you have? Yes. I mean, I would love to see these folders. They're incredible. I mean, who gets this for a Warriors Wolves? Now, half of this is my kindergarten circa Canva display, but you get a Donnie Nelson here for the Warriors T Wolves. You got this is one of my favorites. You get these starting lineups always get me. I mean, who doesn't want to see a Joe Wolf, Orlando Woolridge thing when you talk about Nuggets?
Phil Jackson's handwriting on the board.
Is that what that is?
He he's an assistant at the time, and he kind of ran out of room for the aggressiveness. But I mean, I feel if I'm going to be watching these games. Yeah. I gotta take these screenshots, and they give a nice little sort of. I'm speaking of 2012. I'm still stuck on the little vaporwave thing, so you have to pardon me in my stasis. I just love the way they look. I'm getting to watch all the old games I had to go to bed for when I was a kid, so I'm up watching them now, and let's take some snips.
That's great. So is that what you're just constantly watching old games late at night when you're letting the baby go to sleep and all that?
It's great. You get to watch the last night's games whenever you want, scoot around and watch the gorilla suit throwing the t-shirt cannon in the crowd, and then until the NBA knocks them off, you just type Nuggets Clippers 1992 into YouTube and just bring up all sorts of old Corona ads. I love it.
Yeah, NBA in-game entertainment has always been good. Now it's too much of an over-sensory kind of thing where they don't let you have a moment off, as you know. It's just for house music and just blasting you in the face with T-shirts. But back then, they put a little panache to it, back when it was fun. I think. What did you think?
I lose all my League Pass as a feature that if you can turn off the ads and just watch the scoreboard feed at halftime. So it's just nonstop t-shirt cannon, and it's irrepressible. I can't get enough of it. Anytime I'm over at someone's house and I watch a game with commercials, I immediately get on the internet and start complaining about like Will Ferrell selling out. Like I turn into a grouch when I'm at home watching League Pass and seeing these beautiful families raise their child up in the air with the big expensive headphones, and I just imagine that they're listening to like chill lo-fi beats. It's the greatest, and I can't wait to. I encourage everyone to go out and get the League Pass. It'll make you you'll feel better about the constant stream of, like, if you listen to the Cleveland games and you're an old Bulls fan, it's the same recording of defense. It's the same. It's these cans. Maybe it's a union thing. Maybe if that's the case.
Chill lo-fi beats. And I like one of those old games too, and you realize how different like the rules are too. Like that's what I think it's funny about the NBA. How they'll change the rule like mid-season, like illegal offense. Oh, you don't like that? All right, illegal defense. Whatever it is, 3 free throws to make 2. It's fun. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot they used to do that.
It's super proactive. It's only been around, as it's as old. The league as old as someone's parents. It's just I'm not going to get too precious about it. They put a big strip on the floor 40 years ago, and it completely changed the game. So why not do some extra silly stuff? I just know, just as long as we keep AI out of it for the next 2 to 3 years, I'm hoping to get to the 2030s before the Adam Silver AI press conference. But it's the NBA. We're fun and ahead of it, so we'll see.
Absolutely. I have to ask you about these Oklahoma City Thunder Nuggets there and the end of that last game. As you said, Hartenstein missing. But my thing is with the fouling up 3 there. They did it obviously they did it, I think, way too early. Like to the numbers, like they're like, even if Chet Holmgren makes those 2 free throws, they're gonna foul him immediately and like do it 5 more times. And then they burn all their timeouts and they have to advance at half court, which is obviously a dangerous situation. Then they were out of timeouts once Gordon hits that 3, so they couldn't advance it, like from doing all this nonsense.
I think the advantage of only going for fouling when you're in that situation was kind of, again, like a 15 years ago thing when no one had the guts to kind of try it. I remember being at a finals game in 2009 and we're like, why didn't the Magic foul when they're up 3? Now everyone does it. You got these games that go on for these last 2 minutes of games that go on for 90 minutes because it's like streamlined. It's 2-minute drills in the NFL. It's like they
crazy.
All have plays for it. They all have. Why aren't we doing this the whole game? Where did all these layups come from? It's an interesting dynamic. They'll figure it out. They're not encumbered by suits anymore, these coaches. So they're all wearing track suits and they can just on their feet for
That
once.
is funny. Now you did rant. You do miss belts on head coaches from your last time. I remember I read.
I forgot I wrote that. I do.
No, it's great.
I miss slacks and belts and I don't. Listen, I understand it's a big budget, and I understand they're not all making bank, and you get 10 to 15 assistant coaches these days. But I don't want to see. I'm more of a Dan Reeves guy. I don't want to see them all gussied up and like the latest finery of no polyester, no.
And there's nothing better than a stress coach ripping the tie and ripping the blazer off, throwing it on an assistant, and putting it back on and then like stripping down. It's like me at a wedding, like as it goes on, like the tie gets loosened, the jacket comes off, Jimmy
Brown's first game coaching in 20 years in 2004 or 5 or whenever that was with the Grizzlies, he took off his coat midway. He's like, when I was coaching, we just didn't have a coat. And it just like they had to fine him after and go, no, it's the 21st century, and we're doing that. Yeah, I just like to think like Jerry Sloan was fined like silently $25 per game for having that top button on his tie undone. Like every game, he's just like, I just read a blank check. I'm not going to top that top button. Bring it back. All these coaches, and it's a weird. I don't like seeing anyone dressed in the same outfit. It's just an odd thing unless they're slam dunking.
Yeah, you should be able to point out who the coach is for sure. Now, Oklahoma will win that series. I'm right about that. Please tell me that. Or if
Rebounding. I mean, they got Dallas's big butt knocked them over last year. Is Denver's big butt. Oklahoma City fouls a lot. Like that wasn't an aberration. They fouled the heck out of teams this year and just were like, so what? Call it. It's a steal or a foul. We're going to take our chances. So like was what Jokic did the other night annoying and kind of bogarting? Sure, but like what's to stop him doing it for 3 more times in 6 games? I can't. I'd stop tinkering with the lineups. I love Alex Caruso, but why mess with a good thing? I like you said, I'd stay big and wait for the Peyton Watsons and Michael Porter Jr.'s to have a bad game. It's going to take 2 weeks, so it'll probably pay out. But also on Denver's side, why not?
That's a good point. Peyton Watson did have a nice game there, and you turned me on to Alex Caruso as far as the really loving everything he does defensively and how upset you were obviously when the Bulls got rid of him for no draft picks. You don't need a draft pick. We're not
and the commitment to pay someone $30 million a year that may not be an Australian.
Yeah, right. And I also love when you talk about Dave Adelman, the coach of the Denver Nuggets, when you're like, he was probably thinking, I'll get my first job maybe next summer, get a draft, go through this. Not like, run these playoffs against the Thunder. You're dropped right in the middle of the fire. The week to go. Amazing.
You're going to be the first coach to ever do this. Go ahead. Have some fun with it. 3 games. They're going to be talking for the rest of the playoffs, no matter how many games good. You could be in the finals, and they'll be like, it's his 18th game coaching. So deal with that. Have fun with that. And also, try not to make a fool of yourself asking for free throws. And
now they're playing up Jokic in the huddle to animated, like he's coaching, like he's drawing up things. I know it is great.
Draymond had the another advantage of the League Pass scoreboard thing is you can sneak in the huddles and watch the dynamic of what's going on, which is great. Draymond Green had the was drawing up plays all last night. It was marvelous. That guy. Speaking of irrepressible, that's great.
You gotta think deep down. Draymond loves not Curry being out, but when he is the show. And he was shooting those first 4 threes. It seemed like out of pure hate. He was just throwing them in there, going in there. He's been amazing. I compare him. Yeah, I compare him to the way he just continues to hit people and all these things like he's like Wesley Snipes' character in Demolition Man, where he just can't believe in this era no one's fighting back. Like he's got the only guns, and he's like, oh, I guess I could just keep kicking these people in the face, and I'm not gonna get tossed out. It's incredible.
Don't say anything.
Yeah,
yeah.
No one's gonna do anything.
He's got the trick. He's got the trick, and he's got this. He's fooling us all because like once the big giant Frenchman shows up, I'm just gonna take it, blow everyone's mind. Mind blown.
It amazes me how much I feel like people hate Rudy Gobert. Not like his teammates, opponents, everyone. It just seems like that. Even when he does good, like all right, I told you did okay today, but it's still the second something goes bad for him. Like you know what I mean? Like he just
6 of 7 shooting. Really?
Right.
What's wrong with that? And roll that off the rim.
Yeah. You can guard Luka out there to 3 with the game on the line. Now I'm 7'3". Why am I out here? How about you stop switching?
Do you ever see Kareem guarding Larry Bird at the end of games? No.
Right. No. Yeah, that's not
aware
a
of
thing.
The precedent that had to be told where like Hakeem had to come out and mess with Jordan, and that was just how he, earned his stripes. No, switch. Call it out. There's a screen. Let me know.
Right.
I'm still under 7 feet.
Before my highlight forever. Oh, man.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah. Speaking of Luka Dončić, Kelly Dwyer, KD on Hoops. The great KD on Hoops, I should say. I'm talking to KD on Hoops. Make sure you subscribe at kdonhoops.com. Follow him on Blue Sky at KD on Hoops. Just wanted to remind people on that. One of the great basketball writers, comedy writers. I call you even a comedy writer. That's how much I enjoy your column. Like sometimes I'll repeat some of your lines, like your John Morant line killed me. Where you're like, he's throwing hand grenades into a paying audience. You're like, I repeat, a paying audience, and he's launched his own fans.
The difference between like a club comic and someone who's paying theaters, and all of a sudden, like Nikki Glaser goes out and just starts chucking hand grenades, and that's your thing. No, they're all there to see you.
Yeah, he gives them the hits.
That's going to take the summer to work itself out. I think in Memphis, that's something else.
Yeah, that is something else.
You know what I'm thinking about above everything else right now? What am I gonna do to follow up on this old gun thing? I'm not allowed to do guys. So like, we're gonna try to work on the best team in the NBA, and you think about the big flame gun like your Hank Scorpio or something for your next one.
It was
he's
great.
A bummer.
Yeah, he is a bummer, but it was great how he pointed out the absurdity of that. No guns, okay? How about this? None of that. Like that's just says how ridiculous it is. I have an air rifle, whatever it is.
Yeah, come on. We've moved on to trench warfare. Come on, keep up.
One of your other funny lines is out here because after the Luka Dončić thing, there was a little cut back. Like, that justified the trade, which is obviously crazy. And one of your lines was like, slow down. Max Christie had more playoff minutes than Anthony Davis, so let's not talk about the actual trade itself. But your take on Mark Cuban was great. Not even just and his responsibility for this. I remember when Mark Cuban first sold. A year ago, I guess it was, these people in your column on that, like how awful it is to bring these people into the NBA. Like, so we knew something was coming, just not this bad.
Yeah, listen, he gave the Adelsons access into the money making machine that is the NBA, and that to me is, it's one thing to do that, and then you get on Blue Sky, and to get on Blue Sky is a bit of a signal in the first place, and then try to act like you're the champion of MSNBC. No, not buying it. And then going and arguing with like Facebook people about like I wasn't allowed to. I had no say in personnel. No, you got beat. You got trampled by the guy that traded Luka Dončić. Like you were housed out of your own team. The NBA would have done cartwheels to try to keep you in charge and keep that at the look at us. We have a billionaire that's also that knows his second round picks. No, he's got a whole generation of writers like me. I remember emailing with him about Etan Thomas before the draft when he took Etan Thomas. Like he's got all of us primed to kind of be at his feet with this stuff, and I'm not feeling it. I'm not there for that. Adelson's or no, sell it to the Koch family or not Koch. Who's the other one? Soros. Sell him to Soros, he says. No, I don't care what, but just to have that. And don't try to play us on that they wouldn't let me in on the Dončić trade. The Mavericks wouldn't let me in because they didn't want you around anymore for whatever reason. A bad move on their end. The whole thing is nuts. It's a story because they traded him for no draft picks. It's a story because they traded a 25-year-old superstar who does that. It's a story because they traded him for a 32-year-old who does that. It's a story that they didn't negotiate with any other teams who does that. It's a story that's just so many Nico gates in there, and he got left out of all of them because he couldn't outwit the guy from Nike that only had a job because Cuban gave him a job. He couldn't handle the sneaker guy that traded for Max Christie and Anthony Davis's throbbing midsection. Poor Dallas. I mean, who that's like the Colts going to leaving Baltimore. That's like what. That's never happened. It's like Kareem got traded because he couldn't get good jazz albums in Milwaukee, or like Shaq wanted to. Shaq could have made all those terrible movies in Florida. He was ready to stay in Orlando and not pay taxes and gets a jet ski in his backyard and have the time of his life. He's having steel come to him. Right? It's just phenomenal misses by these owners. And then Patrick Dumont, the owner of the Mavericks, goes out and says, you got to have a guy who's committed to conditioning like Shaq, who, he went from everything to nothing. They kicked the Thunder's butt this year when Kyrie was in the lineup, when Luka was in the lineup. They kicked the Thunder's butt last year in the playoffs. They were the key to having the Thunder be out of the playoffs, and now they're gone. They're gone. They should roll.
That was my whole basis on being the Thunder. I'm like, wow, okay, if they're going to trade their one problem that they had, just trade it away in the middle of the night, then I mean, it's just hilarious. And Nico Harrison is just hilarious because they keep giving him the opportunity. So was the owner's not going to pay him? Like, no, that wasn't it. Just me. I personally just didn't want I wanted too much hookah and dinner rolls, to be honest with you. That's all it was.
No, I'm just gonna lose any chance I ever had at ever having another job and just get out of it in the worst way. And it's great because these things have been revealed. Like, we know Daryl Morey. These men are geniuses. Like Nico Harrison, these big striking executives that are going to come in, and that's great. That's great that they have these clothes not there on the Emperors, and we should take advantage and point it out every possibility, and God forbid, maybe give these jobs to different people.
I mean, but is that his punishment? Should he have to stay there though and watch for the next 10 years and do those facial 100%. Reactions and become a meme? I mean, he can't be fired. That's too easy for him.
No, you gotta do that and take your money and stands and do that, and prove that defense wins championships, and go sign I don't know, is Damari Carroll still playing? I mean, go find some 3-and-D guys around Spencer Dinwiddie. And we'll see you back in the mid '80s. Bring Caleb. 25-year-old superstar of the next decade, and you're like, no, we don't want any draft picks cluttering our cap sheet moving forward. We can't have that uncertainty. Oh, what a mess.
Defense wins championships. That was hilarious. Like, what are you just going to read these greeting card, like motivational poster slogans? Like, since when does this happen? Oh, man. Well, KD on Hoops, I want to thank you for joining me. I was very excited to have you on here. Like I said, I'm a big fan of your column and everything else that you've done from a long time ago, from years ago back in the Chicago comedy scene. I've known you forever for that. You're a supporter of that. It's great music, kid. I remember when, don't get me wrong, I remember Deadspin, the good Deadspin, obviously, they put you in some kind of top list, and they made some kind of comment about your music. You took it with a good sense of humor, but I'm like, this is why I really like KD. He's like, they were like,
oh God, I forgot all about that. Yeah, no, I don't know. It wasn't some kind of list. It was the worst people on Twitter or something like that.
Worst people on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, that's what Deadspin does. Yeah. To me, that's the best.
They go. It was like, this guy's like like a jerk you'd find at a record store. That's exactly what.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I try to be nice. Try out humble pie, kids. But no,
that's funny.
That's fine. Yeah, Sports Illustrated just put out like their top 100 Twitters, and it was just and I was part of that. So it was
okay.
Great. Pop.
That's
they
funny.
nailed it. That's been always did.
They are well. Then they well, whatever. We don't have to get into that. I could talk music with you, but we have to go. I love your Steve Albini takes too, by the way. Follow KD on Hoops at Blue Sky and tell everyone out there, tell all the C-generates, what's the best way to subscribe and get as much KD on Hoops as possible.
It's just go to KDonHoops.com, and if you like what you see, chip in. And if you need another month, come around in a month. We're going to be here all summer. All sorts of old 90s NBA stuff we all planned, and we're going to be bouncing around the Midwest, Indianapolis, and Cleveland here in the next week. Subaru willing, and love to see you there.
Fantastic. And your year-round content's even better. Like your off-season stuff is great too because of your rich history of all the hilarious stuff of the old NBA stuff. So I recommend it for everybody. KD, I appreciate it. And have fun Have fun with your Pacers.
I promise. Take care, guys.
All right, buddy. There it is. KD on Hoops with a long and extended session on the bottom line bombs. Let me switch off the captions there. That was like I said, I can't recommend his column enough there, his newsletter, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. He kind of not invented, but just to hear a couple of things. Like I said, Zach Lowe was a big fan. They called him the pioneer in the NBA blogosphere, remains the soul of basketball writing. And I could not agree more. All right. Now with that, let me do a quick ad read here. Let me talk about rhythm. Let me get to the rhythm's gonna bet you. Rhythm's gonna bet you. Rhythm's gonna bet you. With props. Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs and MLB prop market with Rhythm. Build your own model. It's simple and easy. Rhythm knows you'll love it, and that's why they include a 7-day free trial. Here's something Rhythm likes. They like Shane Baez over 5.5 strikeouts tonight against my Phillies. I can't disagree with that. We swing at slop. Rhythm has some of the amazing deals going on now. 25% off monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25. 50% off annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Get your 7-day free trial today. sportsgamingpodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by MyBookie. MyBookie. Whatever I bet, he bets. MyBookie AG. It's your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs, plus props for every game. For the true D-Gens, MyBookie Money Bag. That's when it spins the wheel and gives you whatever the hell they want to give you. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we are back here on the bottom line bombs. I'm sorry for that mentality. Yep, thank you, CJ. Thank you, chat room. I haven't even got to you guys yet. You guys popped in. Boo for T says Leonard Skinner Saturday Night Special reference. $20 at the 210 mark. It's hard to hear that. That's for my $20 to $20 million. Oh, you're right. That's not a bad way to slip it in there. Pitbull, that's for the 20th time of our lives, about 30 seconds. And Pitbull, I know, will take me down. So I don't know about all that. I'll have to take it easy in there. He has a Catfish Hunter holographic card. Yeah, he does. He does have a Catfish Hunter holographic card. He will put it in his post. He's one of those, quirky sports guys. Prime Blair Russell was a problem. Nico Harrison saying he lived the Mamba mentality was so funny. The guy couldn't hang in the Belgian league, Feach Lamont says. I know. He played wherever the hell he played for junior year. But he did have that Mamba mentality, which is delusion, I guess. Once again, thank you to Katie on Hoops for joining us in the box. Not too many guests in the box. Speaking of the box, I gave out my NBA bombs. Let me get into the box now. Do my own thing here. Make sure you like and subscribe to me as well. Not just Katie. I mean, I'm here too, pushing out the content for crying out loud. Hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube here. Follow me on X at CJ Sullivan _ at CJ Sullivan _ Instagram at CJ Sullivan was taken _ in between each words. TikTok at @ CJ Sullivan. You can email me, bottomlinebombs@thesgpn.com. Give me suggestions if you want guests. Hey, if you want to book them, fuck it. Come on in. I just said, I felt a little weird. I forgot what that list was. That's what I knew the sense of humor was. I remember it was Deadspin, and he was 100 worst follows on Twitter because he made the best. So that's what Deadspin did. People liked it, they would shit on it. And he was funny about it. He's like, yeah, music snob. That's what music snobs do. Whatever. Or record shop guys. He made fun of it, which was great. I bring that up only because, one, that was a stupid thing to bring up during an interview. But second, I wanted to talk about this Dave Portnoy a little bit here. And I don't want to think too much about Oklahoma City Thunder because, as you know, I have 10K riding on it, and then I want to bring that into the Circus Survivor. And if the Nikola Jokic continues to do what he does,
you lost it all. No. Yeah. Technically.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. But this Dave Portnoy, he can't get away from this guy. Now, Barstool Sports, and I'm not here to rip on anything, especially since I don't want him coming after me for crying out loud. But Barstool Sports, a big thing, there's a couple reasons why Barstool Sports got so big. One was ripping videos online with burner accounts so they wouldn't have to pay for it when they retweeted them. A lot of shady business. But another major thing was the fall of Deadspin. They celebrated that hard. It was what they should. It was their competitor, which came from the Hulk Hogan lawsuit, which was bankrolled by Peter Thamel, who was mad he got outed as gay. So it's very bizarre. And then Deadspin, became there's a de facto Deadspin with all strike writers and everyone hated. But now that Deadspin actually people don't mind it because we're in this fucking Trump world where it's all bullshit. And that's what it feels like. But anyway, it's Portnoy. My God. Here's the thing with Portnoy. And there's this whole thing with the bar incident where he just goes on these emergency press conferences. Emergency press conference. Which is just him taking a selfie video, for we press conference. He's screaming about these temple kids. And these waitresses, which the story is what it is, The thing is, I can't get away from it. Like, if you're on X, they have so many accounts, and that's their genius of it. They have so many accounts that retweeted videos and counterweight their videos, and they're just set up fake accounts. Like, I muted him, but it doesn't matter. It just floods into it's insane. And what I always find odd about him is, one, he's an adult man. He's in his high 40s or whatever he is. He's very wealthy. He made it. He's got all the money he wanted, obviously. He set out to what he wanted to do. Why are you still a troll? Why is that your thing? Why do you still troll as a personality? Whatever it is, Celtics, that's on me. Knicks don't belong on the same floor. Michigan, Ohio State, you never be Michigan. It's so weird. And he does it with, obviously his fan base is college kids and bros and comes out of there. But dude, you have $100 million. Why are you trolling people? I just don't get that mentality. I get it. Get it. To build yourself up. If you're on your way up, and that's how you think that your angle is, which obviously it worked to be one of those agitators. But now, what are you mad about? What is upsetting you? Besides a bottle service sign at a dive bar in Philly. And first of all, how does that dive bar on Sampson Street have a bottle service? What? What a crazy story. If you don't know the story, some kids they went to Temple and when they put your bottle service hey, happy birthday, Joe or Sheila, whatever. They put an epithet that said F the Jews on it, which is obviously dumb on them, dumb on the servers for how did the service be yeah, okay, no problem. We'll just type that. Is that your name? Is that your first name? Is that Fucque? How do you spell that? Is that French? And they come out with it. And then, of course, they post on Instagram because that's what kids do. That's how they get caught. They could not comprehend doing a prank or something like that. And I'll give them the benefit of the doubt it's a prank without posting it. Same thing with the call to Shedeur Sanders. No, of course, we're going to post it. How'd they catch you? Oh, how'd they catch you? I tagged the FBI, basically. He was tagging people from fucking Barstool. So that's pretty dumb, but that's how we all are. We love the content. We can't stand on the content. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. I don't want to get too into. See, that's the thing. That's past me. I used to do that. I used to let that get to me. Other people's not success. Like I always say about Barstool, I'm not jealous of their talent. I'm jealous of their success. Sure, it seems pretty nice to be that successful for doing whatever the fuck they do. But that's not me anymore. I don't drag other people down. You got to focus on yourself. You got to stay in your own lane. You have to delete comments immediately as soon as you post a video, which you can find of me anywhere. Make sure you follow my other podcast, by the way, the Blackout Diaries, which is a drinking storytelling show I tell with Sean Flannery. I wanted to promote that. A lot of promotion. What am I kidding? What am I? They got to figure it out, right? They're doing live parlay bets. They're just talking. They're just screaming at TV. None of it matters. They're getting sponsored. Now I'm upsetting myself. But we're independent here at the SGPN Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We bring you guests like Katie on Hoops, who is one of the most prominent NBA writers out there. And he is out there. You just got to find him. With that guitar. And he gives you great music tips too, if you're into hipster music and all that. 70s, 80s, he runs the gamut, if you will. Yeah, fantastic. I can't thank him enough for coming on the show. I've been wanting to do it for like I said, I quote his column all the time. He's got so many funny lines about the NBA and his lines, like I told him before, his takes are very sensible and logical. Like that 3-point take, I think is brilliant. 33 threes a game. That's all you get. 8 a quarter, 1 bonus, 1 in the fourth. Bring that back. Traveling, just like baseball. Go there for the weekend. We're not going to Atlanta, Toronto, and then Sacramento in the same week. It's insane. But also, when you have sensible takes like that and you do long form writing, you're not going to make money. So make sure you support him. Go to KDOnHoops.com.
And I'll leave it at that.
And so will I.
All right. Thank you for joining me in the chat room here. We had a great show. I always like to tell my C-generates, we had a great show. All right. If you liked it or not, we had a great show. So congratulations on that. My bombs tonight, I got Thunder and the Celtics, both first half. -6. The props, Tatum over 28.5 points. Cat over 10.5 rebounds. Come on, Thunder. I need you. I need you to do this. I need you to get it back on track. We cannot go 0-2 to Denver. Win the damn game. We're just trying to get $20 million. That's all. That's all I ask for. That's that thing there with Walter Goggins. That's popular online for that show. All I want is an 8-ball and $2 million. That's not much to ask. Virgil, no problem. Checking in late, no problem. Checking in on the break. Sorry, you can replay that thing right now. You'll get a fantastic show. Channing Brown, your Edmonton Oilers, pulled off one on Vegas last night. Congratulations on that. I might be in trouble. Your Oilers are getting stronger and stronger. But it's hockey. They all go 7. You know what I mean? Anyway. All right, guys. That'll do it for today's show. We'll see you on Monday.